So I just kind of took an ego hit, and I couldn't do it because I wanted to march.
Yeah,
Like if I'm not marching, I don't want to be in the band. So that was
I
kind of it for
understand
me.
that.
Yeah,
Your
yeah,
mama and them, everybody got to see you. Y'all
yeah,
on TV regularly.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yo, DJ DMoney, I didn't know we was gonna go down there. You're all right, bro. You need a minute. I don't want to.
Yeah, no,
I
no,
like you. I'm a
yeah,
fan, but I don't want you in the corner after this in
yeah,
the fetal position because I done brought up something. You
no,
moved on, but
yeah,
if I done took you back to a dark place,
yeah, no, no, I'm good. I actually DJ'd at the Bayou Classic in the Superdome 2 years ago. So it kind of was
oh
like a full circle moment, like
yeah.
the field with the band, and yeah, it was crazy. So you know it. I don't. I mean, I still love the band.
Yeah,
Every
Is there anything better than a trip getting ready? Nope. For a long journey where our podcast released a new epi, searching for a fade fiending, new fixation. Giving this a subscribe is the same sensation. Started with the day ones, they gave us fuel to support the season. Could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here for a reason. Notification bells, text some friends, all to let you know. Check your Bluetooth, connect, talk your wisdom out.
welcome in everyone. Episode 123. To the hip hop and you don't stop the rockin' with our guest DJ DMoney. DJ DMoney, man, what's that day been like for you so far?
It's kind of been busy, man. Doing some stuff with the kids, the family. That's kind of like my daytime routine, and then at night, I'm in the music scene in Austin. So
So you had to, yeah. And for those, we're recording this on a Saturday night, so I'm surprised I caught you in one spot.
yeah, yeah. I'm on my.
So
I'm one side to do it, but I'm locked in right now, man.
oh, okay. Hey, we appreciate you. We appreciate you. We getting this time. So
Yeah.
we're gonna get into it right off the bat. Like I said, to be respectful of your time, DJ DMoney, where you from, man? Where'd you grow up?
So I grew up in a small town in Louisiana called Lafayette, Louisiana.
Oh,
Not much, It's a big food place, a lot of family, but a big music scene. But it's more of a local music scene. So a lot of your artists like Cupid came from Lafayette, so like Cupid Shuffle and everything.
yeah.
So it's an interesting place, but it's very family oriented and a lot of good food. So yeah,
They filmed that right there. That video. They filmed that in Lafayette, didn't they?
yep.
Man, it looked like the whole town showed up for that.
Yeah. Everybody showed up for sure. Yeah.
Hey,
He was
where was you at?
he was actually just in Austin yesterday.
No.
He had a show with HT with the university over there. So yeah.
Man, I'm sad. I'm sad that I missed that. I also heard Conway the Machine was in town too.
Yep, at Antone's. Yeah.
Man, I'd have missed out. God,
My good brother Mo, Ill Manor, he put that on. Yeah.
man. All right. Well, then I was slipping yesterday. I miss both them brothers. I don't even want to say where I would have wanted to have been more, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna see that. So you
Yeah.
had to be between the two. You gonna rep the home?
I got
the Conway the Machine.
hometown, man. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, okay.
I'm good friends with his DJ, and it's like me and Cupid, his brother. We went to the same school, high school. We were in the band together, so I know them guys. They're good dudes.
Wait. I was gonna get to high school, but you don't took it there. You was in
Yeah.
the band. Hold on. I'm gonna tell you what you played. You was a flute playing brother, won't you?
Nah, I was on the trumpet, man. I was on the trumpet. So that kind of introduced me into the music world. My dad was a big music guy, so I knew as far as like listening to music from my dad.
Yeah.
But as far as being involved myself, band was kind of the start for me. And
Yo,
then,
that just brings me to so many places, man. Like I gotta know, like, what's your preferred? I feel like you like a jazz dude down on the inside. Now that I hear that, right?
yeah.
Is that where?
So my dad, he was a huge jazz. That was his number one thing, like his number one genre. he go to jazz festivals. He had good friends that played instruments, so that's what kind of got me into wanting to play an instrument.
Yeah.
Because my dad, like, he was a big jazz guy. So, being from Louisiana, Louis, he played trumpet. So it's kind of like I saw that and I was like, I want to play trumpet. I gave it a shot. So that's how it started.
Let me see. In high school, is it, I don't know, big time symphony? Is it like first chair or first row, or how does high school band go there?
Yeah, it's first chair. Yeah.
Where were you at? What chair were you?
I didn't get to first chair until probably like junior year.
And
freshman, sophomore year, I wasn't taking it as serious. But then once I got later on and start getting not say better, but more serious about it, then I was first chair. Yeah.
So I want to come back then. Nothing else drew your attention? Was it always the trumpet? I mean, you got that trombone, you got some tubas, there's some brass that could have distracted you. Is that where you went first?
Yeah, I wanted to go trumpet because trumpet more so is like the lead.
Yeah.
In a lot of so I like the lead sound. So that was my go-to because everybody else is kind of additional sound to the band, or bass or drums, which drums was the second option. But I decided to go trumpet. I wanted to play some kind of horn, so that's where I went with it.
We're gonna come back to the drums. While I'm on it, I just want to sidetrack you for a second. If you could play the trumpet, can you play the bugle?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I can play mellophone, a few other instruments that's in treble clef, but mainly trumpet. It was my main goal.
All right. What's that thing? What's the little plunger thing that goes on the end? What's that called?
Oh, that's on the French horn. It's like it kind of like mutes the sound. It's like a mute. It's just you just stick it in there, but sometimes it's to like muffle the sound, so it's more of it's a different sound than the trumpet. It's they have a trumpet style version, where it looks like a trumpet, but it has a bigger horn. And then there's like the symphony style where it's kind of rounded, and you kind of catching me off guard because my band, I've been out of bands in terms and everything.
Listeners, I asked him, was there anything off the table? He said, "Nah, you could ask me about anything, brother."
Yeah.
He was all confident then.
I still got my trumpet. It's in the attic, but I haven't touched that thing in years.
All right, I think this will be the last trumpet question, but I gotta know, is all the work in the y'all got to do it with the lips, or is it really the little three? I don't even know what they call, bro. Keys, prongs.
Yeah. It's mostly like you gotta work the chops, man. You gotta be used to like hitting them high notes and yeah. So it's more in the chops than the you gotta know the but. It's more in the chops. And that's in longevity too, like playing like a whole parade or like in the stands for a football game or something. You got to be able to go. So, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to leave the trumpet alone. Wait, we coming back to the drums, dog. How you going to go and be a lead? Like, you a split personality dude. You the trumpet, you at the front, and then you want to go to the back and be a drummer? I don't even understand that. What happened there?
So,
that's a dichotomy.
While in high school, there was some guys. We had a computer in the band room. Yeah. So there was guys who were producing some beats. In the computer. So that was like my freshman year. So I had never seen that. Like where I had seen like the Manny Freshes but they have big studios with elaborate equipment. So I didn't think it was possible until I got to high school. And I see these guys, making beats on the band computer. So I'm like, what's going on? And I got the program from them and started producing. And that's what kind of got me interested in drumming, the drum machines or whatever. Yeah. And that's kind of what I was doing then.
Okay. I was just kind of curious there because you said you can go down another lane. I mean, he's saving this stuff for the pod. He want to impress y'all on the pod. He was like, man, I ain't just a one trick pony.
Yeah. I used to produce, man. That was actually my thing before DJing.
Yeah.
So when I was in Louisiana, when I was in college, I used to go to Southern. I graduated from Southern.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, and fun fact, I was in the band for a brief period of time.
What?
Uh, but that's kind of one of those things where the experience was great, but it didn't work out. So I actually got zipped. And this is when Dr. Greggs was still the band director, and
Yeah.
Dr. Jackson was the assistant, and I didn't memorize my music. So
Oh,
so I got zipped. So I couldn't march. I was still in the band, but I couldn't march. So that kind of was like a down moment for me because, like I was saying, I was in the band since sixth grade, but the bands I were in were different style bands. But I was always interested in like the high step, like marching bands, right?
yeah.
But in our area, there was a few bands, outside of town, but in Lafayette particularly, there wasn't like a high stepping band, but there was a community band called the Black Heritage Band that was high stepping, and they actually had Southern band members like teach the players and
Yeah.
like band members. So yeah, that's what got me interested in going to Southern. And then I was in the band, as a crab, shaved my head and went through band camp. And right
Yep.
before the season, I got zipped, so I didn't stay, but I stayed at Southern. I graduated from Southern.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, this is what we about to make fun of you. DJ DMoney, you fumbled the bag, dog. So let me tell you something. So you could be on campus at Southern. I've been there plenty of times. I've been to the Classic, but we can get to that a little bit later.
Yeah.
Man, you get to walk around and be like, yo, I'm in the band. I'm in the band. Like, I know on that campus, you say that, it means something.
Yeah,
But
you
then,
probably bigger than a football player as a
right,
band.
right. And then somebody be like, I bet. And when y'all, let me see y'all march, let me see that. And then you had to come back and be like, oh, so what had happened? What would distract you? What distracted you from memorizing the music? I don't even understand. You was at the precipice.
We were in band camp, and memorizing for the most part was new also. Because like I said,
Oh,
the style of band I was in, even when we did parades and stuff, we had the sheet music, right? And
right.
I would memorize stuff on my own just to do it, but it wasn't required. You could have sheet music while you're marching. So, but it was more of a classical style band. And we would, the school I went to was primarily black. So we would do the classical stuff, but we would also do the stadium stuff and,
Yeah.
different things. So, but it wasn't a requirement for us to memorize the music. So when I got to Southern, they're like memorize everything.
God.
So it was like it was new to me. So Dr. Greggs, they at that time in the band they were like super serious. It was like certain number, and you had to be on the top of the top, right? So you couldn't just be slacking.
Yeah.
So Dr. Greggs, he was. I mean, it's not like it was crazy. He was real classy about it, and he was. He called us in the office on the side. He's like, because he made us like each play. So when he
Yeah.
got to certain people and you didn't know it, he didn't say anything. He just moved on. So he just was like, you can't march, but you can stay in the band and be like just kind of like an alternate.
Right.
If somebody was hurt or something like
Okay.
that,
Okay.
then we'd have this pool of players just in the stands, ready to march or on the sideline, wherever we were.
Yeah.
So I just kind of took an ego hit, and I couldn't do it because I wanted to march.
Yeah.
Like if I'm not marching, I don't want to be in the band. So that was
I
kind of it.
understand that.
Yeah,
Your
yeah,
mama and them, everybody got to see you. Y'all
Yeah.
on TV regularly.
yeah.
Yo, DJ DMoney, I didn't know we was gonna go down there. You all right, bro? You need a minute. I don't want to.
Yeah,
I like you. I'm a fan, but I don't want you in the corner after this in the fetal position because I done brought up something. You moved on, but if I done took you back to a dark place.
No, I'm good. I actually DJ'd at the Bayou Classic in the Superdome 2 years ago. So it kind of was like a full circle moment, like
yeah,
the field with the band, and it was crazy. So I mean I still love the band. Every time I attend anything that they're at, or even if I see a post on Instagram or whatever, I love the band. So I'm a music person, so I love the band.
So you know what? I said I wouldn't talk about high school trumpet no more. So when that ended, did you stop playing altogether and then you kind of shifted more to DJ and producing?
Yeah,
So you just set it down after that?
yeah. So that was it. But it helped in the producer world because I
Oh,
learned to read music and
yes, sir.
kind of articulate some things. So I kind of use that band knowledge to like focus on the producing. So I was at Southern, and this was like a time where like Baton Rouge was like musically kind of becoming a thing.
Yeah.
And so like your Lil Boosies and Webbies and all those people were coming up, and I was living there at the time.
Yep.
So I was producing, and I actually kind of brushed shoulders with a lot of those guys. I produced some stuff like early on for Kevin Gates before he got famous, and
Yo.
a few local people who were just local at the time, and even like some of the Trill guys like I mentioned. I produced some stuff for Lil Fat and a few other people in that camp. So I was around that time, and just producing, and nothing super major. I did some stuff for Juvenile that never came out. Some
Hey.
some
Left
local
on the cutting room
stuff,
floor.
yeah. Yeah, like I don't know if you ever heard of a guy named Vicious. He used to be signed to UGK. Did some stuff with him, and
Yeah.
just a few. There's a few guys, but yeah, I started really focusing on the producing, and that's what kind of transitioned me into the DJing thing later on. So yeah, that was my kind of like second stint in music after band, and
I
then
gotta ask you something. So I got these lyrics, right? I'm nice. I'm nice with it. Everybody know I'm nice with it. Want some talent shows, and then I get in the studio. I'm trying to produce with this dude, DJ DMoney. I feel like he's holding me down, man. Like I got this vision. I know how my lyrics supposed to go. Like, does that happen? Would that be like a real scenario that sometimes you feel like they almost kind of treating you like an enemy because they may not be taking your assertions or your offerings. Have you ever? Is that like a common practice? Like in my mind, I feel like that because they're married
yeah,
to their lyrics.
yeah. So like, I mean, there's a lot of situations where I just saw things that just kind of like in my mind before they happen. Even like when, like I said, when was in the studio with Gates, I mean, he was just local. He wasn't the Kevin Gates we know now.
Right?
And I mean, I would say it was even before he was local. He was just like literally starting, like on the come up.
Yeah.
And I just looked at him recording, and I'm like, nah, this dude, something different. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And there's times where like I've been like, I may not be in the studio with the person, but I'll make a beat and I'll be like, hey, like this beat, if you do X, Y, Z to it, this is it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I've seen that happen in work. Even not maybe like, oh, this person is Jay-Z, but this person had local success or whatever, regional success or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was one thing that I definitely could spot. Even there's a dude, D1. I don't know if you ever heard of him. He was just on Breakfast Club. He's from New Orleans, and even him early on before he blew, I remember doing some music with him and just listening to him record, and I'm like, yeah, he's something special. And, he's on
Yeah.
Breakfast Club this week.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, it's like it's weird, but it's like it's like I feel the energy in certain
Okay.
situations. Yeah.
All right. I want to go back. I do ask this sometimes, not to everybody, but we spent so much time in high school. All right. Humor me here. You are senior year. You just went through the lunch line. The lunch dude with the hairnet and that cigarette that's hanging out. It ain't lit, but it's just hanging out about the lip. It's just right there. He talking to you, telling you to, hey, hurry up and move on, young buck. And so you get your slop. He put it on your tray. Even if you brown bagged it, stay with me, DJ DMoney. So you walk out, you just got your stuff. What table you sitting at, bro?
What table I'm sitting at? So I was in high school. I was like the jokester
Oh,
slash class clown kind of guy. It's kind of, and so I'm sitting with them guys. I'm sitting with the guys who, the jokesters, the guys who like to rag on people and
yep.
stuff like that, or even on each other. Like we at the table. So that's the kind of person or like I had like a bunch of like real close childhood friends, like from preschool to high school. So a few of them went to high school with me too. So I'm with them, like real close
Yeah.
friends. So one of those.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Did you get voted? Because it sounded like there was a bunch of y'all. Did you get voted class clown, or was it tough?
Nah, it was tough. We had a bunch. We had a bunch of clowns in school, so I was on the list. I'm top 10 probably, but
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. All right.
yeah.
Yo,
Yeah.
how big was that high school? Like, how many was in your graduating class? About?
So we had the smallest school in town, so we probably had like 1,000, maybe. It was real
Wait,
small.
how many
1,000, maybe.
that graduated with you in
Yeah,
senior year?
yeah,
Yo, that ain't small.
yeah. I mean, that's small. That's smaller than most Texas schools. I mean, Texas schools are huge.
God,
Louisiana.
man, I graduated with like 250 of us.
Oh man, yeah,
Yeah.
nah. Yeah. No,
Okay, well, the top 10, I'm even more impressed now by the top 10. What is that many people?
yeah.
So I want to just come back to a little bit of so you from Lafayette.
Yeah.
How we get you over here in Austin? Well, what brought you
So
this way?
so when I was at Southern, I graduated, and one of my roommates, he got a job in Austin. So
Yeah.
he moved to Austin after we graduated in tech. So, since it's a big tech town. And I actually moved here first with no job whenever we graduated. And, I stayed with him for a bit, kind of felt it out. And then I ended up moving back to Louisiana for a little bit. And then I moved to Houston. And then after living in Houston for a couple of years, um, the job he was working at came back around and were like, "Hey, we're looking for more people," and they were expanding. So I got on with him, and then I've been here ever since. So
Oh,
that was 2014. So I've been here ever since 10 years this March. So yeah, this month.
okay. All right. So
Yeah,
you were here before the super explosion. So you a local dog, like you one of the
yeah,
real ones.
yeah.
Not
Yeah,
the Johnny come latelys that
yeah,
you're
yeah.
down and grown up. Can you believe even in 2014? I don't know where it was. Maybe you could see the wind was blowing, but
Yeah.
it's the 10th largest city in America. Did you see that coming?
It's crazy. I didn't before I moved to Austin. Before my old roommate moved to Austin, I didn't really know much about Austin. I wasn't like
No.
everybody knew Houston, Dallas, even
Yep.
San Antonio. But I was like, I knew Austin was the capital, and I knew Texas Longhorns. But I mean, other than that, I didn't know anything about Austin. So when I got here in 2014, you can imagine coming from Louisiana, I was like,
Ooh.
I don't know, but I definitely saw the potential. I was, I was just kind of, just going out and checking out the local scene, and I said, man, they got a chance to do some things here. So yeah, that's why I got involved.
If if we have an out of towner, I don't know why, but I'm kind of big in Mexico. But if we got an out of towner and they come into town, I want you to tell them to a spot to go to. Let's say they are musically diversified. They don't really care. If they want a good scene and a good spot to go to, what you gonna tell them?
There's so many places.
I know.
Out of towner from Mexico. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah. Let's make them from Mexico.
I mean, you can't really lose with going downtown. There's so many places downtown. Even we spoke on Antone's earlier, like
Yeah.
catching a show at Antone's. Just checking out some of the downtown eats they got.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of festivals year round. So even like South by is around the corner.
Yep.
So I mean, there's so much. We had Afrotech the last 2 years. There's so many things going on ACL where
Yep.
you can find something to do. It's like even like when it comes to concerts or sports or whatever, there's always a lot to do in Austin. So it's never like a dull moment. You can every
Yeah.
weekend find something to do.
Yo, that you talked a little sports. So that I-35 game is coming.
Yeah,
Hopefully, that's the game Wembenyama's gonna be there.
hopefully,
Tell,
yeah,
tell me you're gonna be at that game when
yeah,
Wembenyama comes.
yeah, for sure. So they got 2 games. They got actually they're doing a Spurs week that whole week. So
Yeah.
there's events all weeks, watch parties and different activations. They'll have like a court at a HEB and have me DJing out there, and there's a bunch of stuff going on. There's a fan fest in front of Moody where I'll be DJing that, and there's other. I think HT's band's going to be there. It's going to be a whole bunch of stuff going on. So yeah, I'll be doing the game, and in between those 2 games, because one's on the 15th, one's on the 17th, but there's a G League game in between those 2 at
Oh.
Moody. So there's
Oh.
actually games 3 days in a row at Moody. One being the G League game, and I'll be DJing that game at Moody. So yep.
Okay. Now we gonna spin it. We're gonna come a little bit forward. Man, talk to me about what was it like going to Southern? Like, I could just imagine. I'm Divine Nine. I'm a Kappa.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
not gonna lie. I liked where I went to college, but man, being a Kappa at Southern, Lord have mercy. I
Yeah.
could just imagine.
Yeah.
So, what was when you tell somebody about your experience going to Southern University? What are the 2 or 3 things that you would be like, yeah, this is the thing that I am most proud of being at Southern? Like, what would you say?
Just being in a town that just like fully embraces the school like that, like because LSU is real big out there, right? But
Yeah.
like as far as like the Southern folks, they don't care how big LSU is. Southern is the top, the cream of the crop, and you
Yep.
can't do no different. So it's like it's more like a family vibe. It's like it's almost like if my high school was 100 times bigger, if that makes sense. And
Oh.
it's like it's real diverse. Like there's a lot of Louisiana people, but there's a lot of out of town folks, and it's like a good group, like a good mix of people. And like I said, it's real family vibes. It's like it's a huge school, but it's everybody's looking out for each other type of thing. So it's real. I got a lot of good friends still from Southern to this day. So yeah, it was a good experience.
Yo, did you stay on campus all 4 years?
No. I stayed on campus 2 years,
Oh, okay.
and I stayed in the original like Jones Hall and
Yeah.
uh, and the projects. I stayed in like 22 dorms. I stayed in the old dorms. So yeah, it was but it was a good experience, man. And yeah, I recommend going to HBCU. I mean, I'm an HBCU advocate, but it's it's different.
Yo, I feel like if I went to Southern, if I didn't go to the game, I feel like I'd have missed out, right? Like everybody's asking, yo, you see that game? Nah, I ain't watched. Okay, well, what was you doing? Like, are there any activities on campus that if you ain't up on this, anybody really got nothing to talk to you about? We on to the next person, next conversation, because you gonna
I've
miss
gone,
out.
I've gone. I don't know. Let's see. If I can't even tell you how many games I went in the game for the game. Like if I actually went in the game, it was for the band. And there was my freshman year, they won like the SWAC and everything, and they were champions. But there were other years that were down years, and it didn't even matter. I mean, we could be 0-9, and
Yep.
it's still packed. Everybody's still going to the games to check out the band. You
Yep.
know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's like the tailgating was crazy, and it's been they made some changes, but it's still pretty. I haven't been to homecoming in a while. I need to go to homecoming. It's been some years.
Right.
So, but I went to Bayou Classic last year, and still the same vibe. You know, I've seen a lot of the same people. It's weird because like people I went to school with, they might be working at the school now, or they got they got kids and stuff now. So I see them with their family at the game. So yeah, it's different, but it's still all cool, man.
Yeah. Man, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about a step show. Bro, was there any step shows you went to and you was like, this was the greatest step show I've ever seen in my life? I mean, I'll go and put the words in your mouth. Probably some Kappas did some things there and blew it out. But no, it's all right. You won't hurt my feelings if it was somebody else because we know them Sigmas come with it. They always come with it. But
my cousin Al, he was a Sigma. My homie Tim, he's a Kappa. I got my homie Terrence, that was my suite mate. He's an Alpha. So I know somebody almost in everything. One of my homies, he was a Q. Like so I mean, the Battle of the Band step show was always kind of like the highlight step show of the year. So if you went to Battle of the Bands, you caught the step show, and then the band was right after that. Literally, as soon as they passed the check to the fraternity, they taking pictures in the band. They coming, they're already coming out. So that was kind of like the highlight.
Get your money. Get off stage. We up next, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so if you are a DJ, sounds like you've been here. You've been able to DJ there. You probably did some traveling amongst your peers. If I was to ask any of your peers, who's DJ DMoney? What's he like? What would they say?
They would say, musically, very educated and can entertain multiple crowds. I mean, I could do a basketball game one day. I could do the club the next day. I could do a wedding. I could do a birthday party. I could do anything, so I'm not real limited. I and like with my dad, I don't know if you remember those old Columbia House packets that come in the mail.
Yes, sir.
5, 8 CDs in it, whatever. My dad used to order those and just it'd be random stuff. And I'd run to the mailbox to get them and open the box and see what's in there. And just he had, from jazz to R&B to everything, And once I graduated from college and had that band experience and that producer experience, it made me like really seek out different types of music. And I was just, before I was even DJing, I was just getting a whole bunch of music from different DJs, and because I was already cool with them because I was producing. So I would see them, DJ, make mixtapes and all this stuff. And I would, just hook up my hard drive and, hey, let me get some of that music. And so I had the music. And when it came time to actually DJ, I had years worth of music to just kind of go through. I mean, from co-workers to you name it, I just was collecting. So, yeah.
This is where I probably get you mad because I'm going to talk about another DJ. But, hey, man, like I see like DJ Jazzy Jeff, like he'll play the original and then he'll come back in with something that we all know, somebody that sampled it.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about like your background and what you know, like when you're listening to music, do you kind of go to that? Are you like a Rain Man? And you're like, yo, that beat right there, that's I know that. Is that kind of your style too?
Yeah, 100%. So I've sampled records. So like I would sample a record and use it for a beat and kind of flip that beat. So once I listen to the radio or whatever, listen to music and I hear a sample, I'll immediately go to like, what's that from? Or I'll know, that's something original or whatever. Or sometimes I'll even be surprised and not even know it was a sample. And then I come across it and it's like, oh, that's the sample to this song. So yeah, I definitely do that. I'll even do that when I'm DJing, like you said, like Jazzy Jeff.
Yeah.
I might play the original and then they'll have a more recent version that somebody flipped or whatever, and then I'll play that version, like just to kind of go back and forth with, oh, that's what that is. That's this, you know what I mean? So, and some people might not, I play for all kind of crowds, so I might play for somebody who's 21 and they'd be like, oh, I never heard that Alicia Keys song. I don't even know who Alicia Keys is. Yeah, because I mean, it's crazy. It's just crazy. Like some people, I played an Outkast song one time, and then somebody was like, "Who is it?" And I'm like, that's crazy. So,
yeah.
so, yeah. So
They couldn't even guess who it was.
yeah, no. I mean, it was a popular song too, and I'm like,
Yeah, I gotta explain this. Yo, do DJs use Shazam like us common folk?
they would like to say they don't, but there's definitely DJs out there Shazamming sets for sure.
Okay.
And I mean, I'm not even acting like I haven't. I've been somewhere and I might have gone out of town and heard something. I'm like, what's this? Like, and or I'm just I usually do that a lot. Like, just when I'm out listening to other DJs, I might not know. I might go to Houston and there's some local song that the whole club going crazy, and I'm like, what's that? It might not even pop up on Shazam, and I'm like,
yeah.
I gotta look it up. But yeah, nah. Yeah, definitely they do that for sure. They won't admit it, but they do it.
That's Shazam hit you back and be like, bro, you ain't up on this. I got that a couple times. I don't know who programming Shazam nowadays. Like, bro, come on, man. You supposed to know this. How do you don't know this? But I got this weird Shazam. I downloaded it straight from China. It's a different one. Wow. A lot of people ain't got the one I got. Yo, I'm kind of curious though. When it comes to you and your music, I'm put you on the spot. Have you played Hold'em or 16 Carriages yet? Anywhere?
I haven't, but I mean in the car. Because actually it's funny, my wife said she's a huge Beyonce fan. So yeah, she, of course, as soon as it dropped, she played it. Right. So I got twins, and she's just playing it on the speaker in the house, cleaning up or whatever on a Saturday, and they kind of, they're kind of like into music also because I'm always playing music and my mom's always playing music. So she played them and they like them. So we played in the car every now and then when we're going to basketball practice or whatever, and they like it. Mm-hmm. So, but I haven't played it yet anywhere. I might try it this weekend. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts when this first started and there was a lot of chatter of, oh, we ain't even gonna call this country? And when I say that, I mean sometimes labels are stupid. Yeah. And we all kind of need that. Sometimes we need labels. We gotta identify stuff. Like I was like, yo, where you from? Because you want to place things in boxes. So when that happened, do you see her? Your wife's a fan. Maybe she's Beehive. You didn't say she was that serious, but
she's like,
she call it country? Are you calling it country?
Yeah. I'm calling it country. She's calling it country too. And it's funny. She just went on the tour, the Renaissance tour. My wife went in Houston. And I was like, she's announcing another tour, I think, for the country stuff. So I was like, she's about to round them up again in the country scene. So, yeah, definitely I see it as country. And I don't see how you can't see it as country. I mean,
thank you.
Yeah, what keeps it from being country? That's what I don't understand. So,
people, if we judging the music, people, because the music, I mean, she got the twang. I mean, she's got the instruments. So, okay, I was curious with that. All right, so we're gonna move it just a little bit off the normal kilter. Listen, man, I've listened to your stuff. I've been in places where you've been doing your thing, and I love it. But for you, I'd like to know what was the spot, the set, the place where you've done your thing, and you was like, yo, mama, I made it. Like to this day, you was like, man, that was the opportunity. What is that highlight to this point?
There's a few.
Send them.
There's a moment here in Austin where, I signed some NDAs, so I can't, say who, but
okay,
he's a very popular electric car maker. And he lives in the area, so I've actually done a couple parties where he's been there and in attendance. So those are pretty. Those were like highlights, like one of those I can't believe it type moments.
Yep, yep.
And Austin's been like very good for that type of stuff. Like definitely running into um, a lot of people who make a lot of moves in the industry, whatever industry they're in. Like Austin
Yeah.
seems like one of those places that gravitates those type of people. So I definitely say that. I mean, like I said earlier, DJing at the Bayou Classic was pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
Um, DJing in San Antonio for the Spurs game is pretty big.
Wow.
It's like a lot of things like that is like, man, it's crazy. So yeah, I'd probably say that was my top three for sure.
I mean, being at the Spurs game, we got a national televised game. So, if they show in the broadcast, because I look living here in Texas, doesn't make it, but because they got Luka and Kyrie, I've looked at the broadcast for the Mavs game. Sorry to bring up another team, bruh. But that broadcast makes you feel like you in the stadium. Like they show, I've seen the halftime, activities and things like that. They'll flash up the people in the stands. You can get that DJ look. So, that's pretty major, dog. Because I'm sure people was like, oh yeah, they got this DJ DMoney rocking in the place to be. So
Yeah,
that's
sure.
that's kind of major to me.
Yeah.
If I was to say you are going to have a great opportunity coming up for the next year, what would be the number one opportunity you would like in the next year? If you had any choice, I'm gonna give you. I'm a magical genie. I got the skills. I'm gonna give you one opportunity where you want to be and what you want to do. I'm gonna give you a guess. I'm gonna give you my guess.
Yes, sir.
I'm really just being funny, but you want but
What's that?
you want to do the Oscars.
Oh,
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I
yeah,
was gonna say like the BET Awards or something. You want to do the BET Awards would be
yeah,
my real guess. But
yeah.
what would it be for you?
So I've been trying to do well, not trying. I mean, there's a few things I want to do, but one thing that I really been trying to do is get involved with like NBA All Star Weekend and
Oh,
there, just anywhere I can be involved. There's even an HBCU game that they play. I don't know how long they've been doing it, but last year actually Southern played, and I didn't know about it until after it happened. Like I knew about it like right when it was about to happen, but it was already too late.
okay.
That's when it was in Utah, and then they did it again this year, and it's like an annual thing. But yeah, that's something I want to do. Either that or like some Super Bowl weekend or something. That's another thing I'm working on because next year's in New Orleans, so I'm trying.
Hey,
I'm trying to do something out there too.
yo,
Anything.
that'd be amazing. All right, okay, yo, Super Bowl's in New Orleans next year. Who hitting that stage? You gotta have Wheezy, right?
Oh, got to. I mean, really, if you're talking Louisiana, I mean, he's the biggest probably from Louisiana that
Okay. We
you
not
can't.
we not gonna sell out and put Harry Connick Jr. up there.
You got to put Weezy up there, bro.
Okay, all right, okay, all right. I just wanted to see
And
where.
the other thing I was thinking that they could capitalize on, I don't know if he would do this or they would do this, but I mean, Wayne is from Louisiana and he has Young Money. So I think if they like bundle Drake and Nicki in there with him, that would be
Oh,
huge. So you could say, okay, Wayne's the halftime show, but then you bring out Drake and Nicki at different points and then
yep.
do it like that, and that would
Tear the
be
roof off.
tear the roof off. I mean, I can't think of no better Super Bowl lineup other than like Kanye and Jay-Z, but Kanye's canceled.
Oh
and
yeah,
Jay
yeah. He
and
won't get
Jay-Z
that.
board. So, so yeah, that would be huge.
All right. This is where the podcast get decisive. So, listeners, I sugared him up. He thought this was all going to be smiles and giggles, but we're about to get to the tough stuff. Look at his face. We're gonna give you the tough stuff, DJ Money.
Let's do it.
You you hooking those horns? Or
Yeah.
you rocking with them Tigers?
So I'm split. I'm not even going to front.
Oh, really?
So, but see, shout out to my brother Super Mike. So my brother Super Mike, he DJ for LSU,
Okay.
and being from Louisiana and living in Baton Rouge, I'm a LSU fan. You know, just off the hometown love.
Right.
But I've been in Austin for a while, and I'm not gonna lie. When I first moved here, I was like LSU. You know what I mean? But as time has progressed,
We breaking him down.
yeah. Definitely got some love for the Longhorns, and you know, I actually do some stuff with the recruiting. I DJ for some of the recruiting events and
Yeah.
DJ for the volleyball team.
Oh, you mean national champion? Back to
Two-time.
back to. I mean, them girls.
Yeah. So I DJ'd there last season that was my first season with them. So they won it all, and that was cool. I mean, that was crazy experience. They were high energy, and they're serious about volleyball. It's the real deal. I mean, Jermaine O'Neal's daughter, I'm sorry, was the star player. She killed.
Yep.
And yeah, it was crazy, man. It was high energy, and it was a good experience. I mean, that I forgot about that. I got to add that to my list of like top moments DJ wise.
I mean,
DJ Texas volleyball. That was high energy.
And are you their good luck charm? I mean,
I don't know.
My word.
They won it the year before that, so I don't know that. I just kind of I was just kind of addition to the whole thing, but I mean, yeah, they killing it, man.
I mean, I just want to put it out there. I'm gonna say it don't matter what you did; it matters what you do. And you was there, and they got it. We can't live off of the previous year, but they took to the promised land. I mean, I'll just put that out there into the ether. See if they if everybody's listening.
Yeah.
Now everybody's gonna be blaming you. Like, hey, they got a game. Where you at? Oh, I got something else going on. No,
you over here. For sure.
So I might have messed you up right there. This guy's like, what you mean you can't do this game?
Nah, they will hit me up. I'm gonna talk to them.
Nebraska's coming to town. You got to do it. So I want to just back up then. So before you started doing that, were you a volleyball fan before that? We're gonna do a little sports take.
So I mean, I always been a volleyball fan, but had I been keeping up with it, no. So
yeah,
that was crazy. So when I got introduced to the whole thing, someone kind of recommended me from seeing me do the Spurs events and the Spurs games. So whenever they brought me on, coach and a few other people had reached out to me in the program and told me what their ideas were, and I just kind of incorporated what I do into what they wanted, and it turned out great, man. And it was high energy, and like I said, they national champs, man, back to back.
DJ DMoney, I think women's volleyball, we're still in the sports take. Women's volleyball is about to blow up. Asia O'Neal, she got selected in that draft for the new league that's starting up. I believe it's about to blow, son. I really think it's about to blow.
She was the first.
Yep. And the ratings are through the roof for this tournament.
Yeah.
So decisions might have to be made. Real talk though, man, as the sport grows, I think it's only going to pop. And I'm just kind of wondering, from you having that firsthand look, how are we doing as a city with a crowds there? Y'all packed. Y'all were up in Gregory Gymnasium, right?
Yeah, sold out.
Okay, so sold out. So we do a good thing here locally of supporting it, and based off of that, you see it. Do you see what I'm in agreement of? Do you agree with what I'm speaking of? That we are on the precipice of this sport taking off.
Yeah, definitely. When the first game I went to, even when I saw they sent me clips of last year and everything, and I'm like, this is crazy. Like the fan engagement and everything, it's just real exciting, fast paced. And yeah, I like I said, I wasn't really keeping up with it. I was in my own world. But once I got introduced to it, I mean, even if I wasn't the DJ, I'd still be interested in going to a game because it's just that much energy and that fun of an environment. You know what I mean?
DJ DMoney, this the last part of the sports take. So you was around them players, weren't you? Like you met some, you had some conversations and whatnot.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. They rotate. You at the net. You jumping or you running? Because that spike. That's like getting dunked on in basketball, bro.
I'm running. I can't.
You ain't even get jumping.
They be killing that thing, man. It's crazy. Oh. Like they some serious, and even when they go up to block it, man, they can. That thing's coming.
You brave. The girls that go up to block, they brave because it's almost like you about to get dunked on, but you gotta jump.
Yeah, and it's like the feeling I get from like a spike or whatever is the same feeling I get from like a slam dunk or
yes,
you know what I mean, like a long pass or whatever in football. Like it's the same type of feeling. So yeah, it's definitely it's crazy.
All right, get off the sports take. You did good there, though, man. You did good. We may have to cut back. You held your own with that one. We're gonna talk some basketball. We're gonna have to talk some. So you working, but you are paying attention to the game because I didn't know if he's gonna be like, man, I be working so hard, spinning, and then I'm literally like in between takes of spinning vinyl on my feet. Doing tricks and stuff for the crowd.
I don't really have no time, even with the Spurs game, because like when I do the G League games up in Cedar Park, I'm also the sound guy. So all the defense and all those chants, that's me. When they make the free throw or whatever, so I'm doing more than just playing the music. I'm also like the sound guy too. So same thing with volleyball. Every time they scored, I had to be ready to drop some high energy music, get the crowd into it. And, so I really have no time to just kind of be on Instagram or nothing like that. So it's really busy.
How in the moment is it for you? I mean, you just said you got to be paying attention, but I think you are doing your homework. You're prepping. I mean, clearly you're at the top of your game with some of these opportunities that you have. Proud of you, brother. I'm so glad that you're here because I was like, man, I love this dude. I can't wait. Oh, he's gonna come on.
Yeah,
Mama, I made it. So I'm very happy that you're here. But let me get the fanboy stuff out the way. But when it comes to you, like I don't know, do y'all call it? I got a set. Like I know. Yo, I'm gonna play this one. But do you get caught up and sometimes you gotta freestyle and you're like, no, I'm playing this right now?
Yeah, for sure. And there's been a lot of times where I've done that and it's like the energy is just like through the roof. It's like because it's almost I feel like you mentioned earlier, I'm kind of part of it. So like if there's a part in the game or even if I'm like in the club or whatever, and there's there's like an energy you feel sometimes when you just kind of not stick to the script and you just try something that is different, but it'll work. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what kind of sets you apart from other people because some people just stick to the script and hey, I'm gonna play these 10 songs every game. You know what I mean? So or these 20 songs every game, and it's like the same thing every time. But every now and then you gotta go off the script and just kind of put your own spin on things, and that's what sets you apart.
So that was I actually just wrote that one down. How do you make sure that you keep variety? Because you got what you like, you got what you feel comfortable with. Although I like that you said you had a lot of diversity. I feel like though. Because this hit last time. But I don't know, bro. I still live in 2009, so I'm still playing, or 2003, I still playing that Nelly. Like how do you keep yourself honest to know that you are getting your variety out there? I feel like that would be hard.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the comments that I hear a lot from a lot of people when I'm playing for a diverse group, they're like, man, you kind of hit something for everybody. So like I kind of read the room and let's say there's some older folks, there's some younger folks, there's some Hispanic folks, there's some kids. I kind of read the room and then I kind of just assess from there. So it's like I might play something and somebody's like, "Oh man, that brought me back," or whatever, or and then I might play something for the younger folks and they're like, "Man, that's you did this and that, like my mom was jamming and I was jamming." Like it's kind of like one of those type of things. It's you got to kind of be able to read the crowd and just kind of decipher what's going to work and what's not. And sometimes you don't always hit it. There's times where I might play something too early and it's like, oh, nobody knows this, or it's not the time, you know what I mean? But as long as you kind of take those L's and then you incorporate that next time, and you're like, okay, I know what's going to work, what's not, and you just kind of keep that in your mental kind of.
This time has flown past. I want to be respectful of time. I got to get you out on the hour because you got one foot out the door. So thanks again for your time. So we're gonna talk music, and then we're gonna talk. We talk music, and then we're gonna talk lifestyle. So music. When I think of two collabos, "Walk This Way" by Run DMC, "Tear the Roof Off." I don't think anybody could touch a collabo when you got rock and you got hip hop at the same. And then I say "Dolly My Baby," Super Cat, Diddy. Sorry, that didn't age well. But B.I.G. is on it. B.I.G. So when I talk about those two collabos musically, "Walk This Way," it ages well too. I think it's still a banger. Like how does that one hit you? Your thoughts, your reaction.
So that would be in my, for sure, old school bag. But I feel like that'll get a lot of respect from that, from that older generation where, they might be hearing all the other stuff I'm playing, right?
Yeah.
Then I just kind of change the pace with something like that and just kind of get everybody involved. So like I mentioned earlier, one of those things where everybody feels like they're part of whatever's going on. So like definitely that Run DMC bag, LL Cool J bag. Like LL Cool J. I play a lot of LL Cool J like at the Spurs games. He's got a lot of hype type of records and just a lot of the old school stuff. I'm an '80s baby, so I got that bag, and I grew up on that, and I had an older brother, so when he was playing Snoop and Dr. Dre and all that stuff, I was like, hey, I like that, you know what I mean? So I had that from my brother and my dad with the jazz and the R&B and the soul music, and and my dad, he's 76, so he's got a long range.
Yep.
Music. He was in the Air Force. My parents had me pretty late, so he had already experienced a lot of life.
Yep.
He's just still, even to this day, he's got a room at our house with just records, just on the wall, just shelves of records.
Yeah. So then, when B.I.G. does that with Super Cat, you blend in dance hall. How does that one hit you? What do you think of that collabo?
Yeah, even that, like, I feel like there's a huge dance hall and like Caribbean crowd. So I feel like I'll surprise myself. So sometimes I'm just bored with the hip hop and R&B, and I'll just go into that bag and I'll just test the waters. And then before you know it, there's a whole nother group of people that's migrating toward the dance floor because they were waiting on it, and it's like those things. It's always good to change it up every now and then. So like, some of those records, like you mentioned, are those records for me. Change your pace.
Sorry, lifestyle. Man, let me tell you something. I think you came out the womb and your name is DJ DMoney. But so your whole life, once Cass knew you was a DJ and you lived up to the name, I know everybody's coming up like, hey man, I got this beat. I know you can do it. Or hey, next time you do this, play this song. Does that happen a lot?
All the time. There's a lot of people who are, not secret DJs, but just like DJs who in their minds.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say that it's not a good thing, because there's a lot of times where somebody will come and say, "Hey, you know what go good with this, that," and then it'll actually work. That's the crazy thing. I'm never one. I'm not one that's like, oh, no request or anything like that. I always listen. I mean, I might not play every request because I just can't get to it or it doesn't make sense. It's like, okay, we're at a kid's birthday party. I'm not going to play some Sexy Red. It don't make sense. I'm not going to do it. But, for the most part, I listen. And then, like I said, I kind of feel like I have a musical ear. So I'll be able to figure it out and see if it'll work. And if not, I might not do it right then, but I'll incorporate it later where it will work. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely looking for those type of things and suggestions.
DJ DMoney, as I get you out of here, I always like to ask this question because I believe in 6 degrees of separation. And I want to know, who would you recommend and help me get on this podcast? The most interesting person. They ain't got to be the most famous. They ain't got to be the richest. If they are, okay, then that is what it is. But there's got to be someone that you could think of. I'm filibustering for you here as I restate the question. Yeah. Someone that that's like, man, that's an interesting dude. That's an interesting lady. Like that, I like that vibe. And it could be, that's sometimes it's periodical. Like last week you just met somebody, he's like, oh, that's an interesting dude. But I want to know.
So
who is that person and will you help me?
Yeah. I got a homie. This is some more hometown love. So actually I don't know if you ever heard of this sneaker store downtown called Sneaker Politics.
No.
But it's on 2nd Street.
Okay.
And it's actually from Lafayette. The first store was in Lafayette, where I'm from. So there's one in Austin, one in Dallas, one in New Orleans, Baton Rouge, and Lafayette. So there's 5 stores total. And then my good homie Koyo, he's one of the managers at the store. So he's from Lafayette. So he's an interesting guy, and he's kind of like he's exploring his DJ stuff right now, and he's getting into the scene here in Austin, and he's a big speaker guy. He works at the shop, and he's an interesting guy. I think you should check him out. I'll send you his info.
Cool. Man, it's good for me. DJ DMoney, that time went quick, man. I'm a minute over, but I'll do some editing. Maybe I can get it back down. I can get some stuff out of there to get it to an hour. Look, we appreciate your time. This was exactly what I thought it is. By the way, we ain't done with you, bro. We got to get you back. That went too quick. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, for sure.
So thanks again for your time, and man, I'll be seeing you out there around town.
Appreciate you, man. Have me on the show.
Have a good one.
All right, man.